Okay, we're gonna take a look at the player script. So if you go down in here, as under uh, right below nodes, you go to scripts. You're gonna see one that says player template.gd. GD in Godot, if you see a .gd, that's usually the Godot scripting language. Double click that, and you'll see all of the variables on top. And the variables pretty much controls like the speed of things, the jump force, the gravity, the run speed, the dash, the names of things. You know, I'll explain these on another video about the variables. And then functions are pretty much how these things work. So like when you see this on something, it's a function of some sort. So this is an integer function, which I just messed up. You'll see that red bar come up if something's wrong. But in here, you can see there's a function for input right here. So all major mouse and button input events. So this will control functions. So aim turn. So that means it'll turn animation player with mouse movement. Animates animate players with mouse moving while moving the mouse is what I'm guessing they're gonna say next while aiming. Okay, but either way, that's what functions do. Uh, this function is that, and then when they are finished, people will use them like the name of the function. So this one's called input, and then it has the two brackets, and then they put them down like this inside of stuff. So that's a whole nother thing that I have to explain another time. If you see, we have another input here. This one's input is action just released sprint. So that means if if you press a button, right, which that button is going to be the sprint button. If you press the sprint button and you just released it and dash timer is stopped. So the dash timer dot stops. So when you release the whatever button you make your sprint, the timer will stop. So the way we create this sprint is pretty simple. So we'll go up here to project, go to project settings, go down. Actually, these don't look at these. Look at input map. And here we're going to call it. Actually, we'll just copy paste the code. So sprint. We'll copy paste that. So go back, copy sprint, copy. Go to project, go to project settings, go to input map up here, copy, paste in that box, and then click add. Now we have a sprint. It's the same name as this. So now it's like, okay, because this input dot is action just pressed. This is looking for whatever's in here already. It's programmed to do that. It's a function that's already has its thing. And I'm gonna talk more about that on another video because it's a lot to explain. But now that we have that, we click this plus sign and then we make one of the buttons sprint. So what I want is the shift to be sprint. So I'll go shift and shift or shift physical shift, blah blah. You just hit OK, boom. Now your shift button is your sprint button. See that? All right. Now let's go down. Let's see what other stuff we need. So we have attack here in our code. I'm going to close this. We got attack in our code. So attack 1, if idle, node name and playback. So if you're in idle mode or walking, uh, you want to get is at get node. So if we're walking, that's pretty much saying if we're idle or walking or on the floor, And if the button is pressed, so if input is pressed for attack, right? So we're going to do this, copy. So we need to do an attack. So go project, settings, input map, add the attack, add plus, and then we want the attack to be our mouse. Let's make it the left mouse button. So when you click on the mouse, it'll attack. So hit OK, boom. Now we have an attack. So that's attack one. This is the attack one function that they created. And to call it, this is what they would do. They would use this right here, attack, and these two brackets to call it. Um, attack two is going to use the same thing. So attack two, it's saying pretty much the same thing. If attack one node in playback, get attack node, get current attack node. Big attack if sprinting, add a dash. So if you're sprinting, press this button, it'll do attack two. Now attack three, if attack three and node name is in playback, and you press the attack button again, like the attack is just pressed, it doesn't have an animation here, so they wrote pass because they don't have a playback animation for it. So if it had another animation, you would play that animation. And then this is how they would use this function as attack 3. And then, attack. We don't have to recreate these because we already have them, buttons for them. And that's going to be the mouse button. So currently, as you can see, we only have one, we have attack for attack 1, attack 2 that will work, attack 3 doesn't have, they don't have a combo for that yet. We would need to animate one of that. So for this one, it's a roll attack. If attack pressed while rolling, do a special attack afterwards. So if you do that, it has a playback travel roll attack. So this one has a playback. It does, so they didn't pass on that one. If input is action just pressed, attack. So if we just pressed attack, then it will do this rollback attack. If roll node name and playback. So like if we do a roll and then that would happen. So I didn't see a button for roll yet, but we'll see if we see one. So as you see, this is where they call them. So the physical process, this is the function. They just made it into one big function pretty much. So for all the functions here. So sprint and roll. So I'm guessing the sprint button is the roll. We gotta see somewhere in here. Maybe they'll tell us like if you double press sprint or something. So movement speed, angular acceleration. So we're gonna skip all that. We're gonna go to inputs. So we got a jump input here. So copy that jump input. Copy that. Go in project. Go to project settings. We're gonna create a jump input. Paste. Add. So we have jump in here. And then we hit the plus sign again. Press the space bar to make it the space bar. So you press whatever button you want it to be and you add it. You would also do this in here too if you want to use a controller for the joypads, but we're not going to do that. So what we want for the forward is an up, up up on the keys itself. So that's gonna move our play forward. Oh no, actually we don't want up. We want actually let's keep up because we'll add that as a backup. We're gonna press up here. So press W. W for the up, and then for the backwards, backwards. Oops, I put it in the wrong box. Copy. This is if you was looking for your keys. Go here, paste. What you could do is connect the controller, I believe, and then press the button. That might work. Uh, I would have to try that out. Never tried it yet. Press that. We want backwards. Press down. There you go. Hit OK. Well, press S for down. Then add the down on the D-pad. I might change that later on if we want to have like abilities. Maybe we could do it like a way to scroll through the abilities. But if we have abilities, we could also probably use Q and E for abilities. But we'll figure that out later. Um, so what's the other inputs now? So we have left and right, left and right. So lowercase l, left, plus, press the A button, OK, add another one, press the left button. Anyway, um, let's go back to, we didn't make a right button. So we go back in here, go to add new action, lowercase r, GHT, boom, hit plus sign, press the D button. So that's D for to make it your right turn, and then also add another button, which is going to be the right button. Add that. That way we have two buttons we can use, and then close. Yeah. All right, and for now, that's it. But let's take a look at our scene in 3D. We, if everything's correct, we should be able to move and jump. We press play. So boom, we're moving. This is with the ASW and D. So all of those are working. So he turns around, he turns around. Camera's good still. Punching. So he should have two attacks. He should have a special attack if he roll, but I don't know how to roll yet. I don't think there was a roll function in there. I didn't see one. Yeah, no. All right, and that's it.